Welcome back to one of my favorite sports podcasts, Frizz and the Grizz, with your host Trudeau and my guy, Frizzy Frizz.
Hello and welcome back to Frizz and the Grizz. It's your boy Trudeau. Thank you for joining us live Monday, November 17th. You can catch us live on all our platforms. Check us out at Twitch at the handle D_Frizzy5. Oh no, I messed up. D_Frizzy_Frizz5. My bad, D.
It shows it right there.
I can't read though. That's a tough thing for me. Also, if you're just getting the wrong handle from me from Twitch, which is D_Frizzy_Frizz5, you can also check us out on YouTube or Facebook, any of those good places. And of course, if you're only catching part of the show now live, you catch the whole thing tomorrow. Apple, Spotify, all those good places. Listen, your boys are growing. Help us grow. Hook us up. Rate, subscribe, review, and don't forget to check out the TikTok. TikTok's popping, man. I like that place. That's a weird thing to say now because I hated it for so long. But good show for you guys today. Lots of NFL and NBA action to talk about. I'm excited for the first topic because it's one that me and D went back and forth on privately, and I have no idea where he's going with it. But we'll get to that. First, D, what'd it do?
What up? What up? What up? Happy Monday, man. How's everything going with you?
Man, it felt like a real Monday today. I will say that. I'm
with you 1,000% from opening the eyes to right now. Today felt like a Monday, but it's felt like this because it's like towards the end of the year and you want to just get to something. Like you want to just get to next week for Thanksgiving and then you want to get through. Yeah, so like everything feels like it's like built up for us to like, oh, we got to Thanksgiving, and then we're going on a little bit of a vacation in a couple of weeks to Miami for work, and Nice. It's like we just got to get to OMG Live, and then after that we just got to get to Christmas. So it's like that everything is feel like that's what's not stressful, but like built up as to why Monday was very, very like, oh my goodness,
lots of anticipation on your end. Yeah, I'm excited. I just realized that Thanksgiving's next week. Like my favorite holiday coming right around the corner. Time to stuff my face with food and watch football. Nothing better.
Better have our theme song ready for next Monday.
Oh yeah, I got you. I will not forget. Got a green, bean, potato. You know, I know you got. I got you.
That's what I love to hear.
Everything else good with you, man?
Yeah, man. It was a great sports week. The people this morning for work was just like, "Oh, you seem happy," and I was like, "Well, it's a great sports weekend. You know, the Saints had a bye week. So I couldn't be disappointed. You know what I'm saying? It's a great win. LSU won, bounce back win against Arkansas. Van Buren throwing, obviously, and the not even new, but the interim head coach, obviously, there. And the Lakers look good. They got smacked by the Thunder. I think it was on Friday or Thursday. Everybody has. So, like that, I don't put any weight onto that one. But the Lakers over the weekend, they look good. They're 8-2 right now. I'm not mad sports-wise, at least this past weekend. So I was very, very happy with that. But, you know, we're here Monday now. It's on to week 12 for the NFL.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I've been a bad football fan the past 2 weeks. I've been binging basketball, so I have so many basketball takes for the back half of the show.
Okay.
But let's talk about the topic du jour for us.
Spicy.
It's a topic I even just hate talking about, but we're here.
I know.
It's mostly, man, I don't know what your obsession is with Shedeur Sanders, but we're here. Unsolicited. I didn't even text D because he'd been peppering me for weeks about how they're holding this man down over there in Cleveland. And he's just like, what are your thoughts on the Shedeur Sanders debut? And I'm like, really, dog? You're gonna sucker me into this? So do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You can go first because I know you're gonna be surprised with what I say, but like I hope that you understand perspective-wise that other people need to understand as well. But
I can't wait to hear what you got to say because you were just like giving me cryptic messages via text. I'll tell you the people what I told you.
Yep.
He debuted. Dylan Gabriel got concussed, came out of the game to put Shedeur in. He was bad in the time he played. Like, you can't deny that. He was bad. He threw a pick, which, like, he was getting demolished when he threw the pick. So, like, I'll take that one aside. There was another, because I watched all the plays back that he had. There was another one where he threw it right into a defender's hands, and they dropped it. They need to have, by the way, this is a side note. They need to have like a stat that you can view with not just interceptions but interceptable passes. I'm sure like they have that in it, like advanced stats that you have to
Peyton
pay.
Manning wanted something like that. He wanted tipped passes to not count as interceptions too.
Yeah, like it'd be good because we always talk about Patrick Mahomes with how many tip passes that receivers drop. But anyways, side note, he threw another pass that should have been picked off. I thought he had like very happy feet. He seemed very nervous and rushed back there. Granted, like offensive line's pretty dog shit, but like a lot of the same problems that we saw in college, he showed again with not making quick reads, holding onto the ball too long, just not being like a game manager, which I know it's a dirty term we use around here, but he didn't show game management skills, and he looked very much like a college quarterback out there. Now I will say this, like I said to you on our chat, it was really bad. However, it's a really tough situation to be thrown into when you're not taking reps with the ones. And
No, don't give up all that stuff right now. Don't give up too much information, but okay, keep going.
You're coming in midweek. So like I'm telling you, like it was bad. But I'm excited to see what happens next week with a full week of practice. I'm assuming Gabriel won't be playing. And then we'll revisit this again, and I'm sure it will look somewhat better. But I don't think that he is a NFL starting quarterback caliber player. It is what it is.
Wow. Okay. Well, what I will say is the surprising part that I think you'll have for this is not at least from me, my perspective. I would give him an F. If there was a grade for it, I would give him an F. The reason why I'm giving him an F is because I don't think there has ever been an organization to have failed their players more than what we're seeing with the Cleveland Browns. Not just Shedeur Sanders, but with Dylan Gabriel, with the Flacco situation, trading him, bringing in two gloves. What's his name? Kenny Pickett. The Deshaun Watson issue, and then obviously there was another quarterback that they had too. There was a fifth one.
They had so many damn quarterbacks.
There's so many quarterbacks. The reason why I'm saying this is we're learning, and I'm giving him an F. I think there were still some footwork issues that he did have. I'll agree with you on that one. The holding on to the ball, he didn't have enough time to just hold on to the ball. Like he literally snapped the ball, and there was people in his face. Like it was that bad as an offensive line. We can both go look at it. There were literally clips of 3 offensive linemen blocking 1 D end and 3 unblocked linemen from the Ravens. Like that's what was going on last night. The reason why I'm giving him an F is more based off of situations that he could have been better that he wasn't. Something that bothered me was play calling. I don't know if you watched it the same way that I watched it. If you go back and look at a ton of his plays, there were no checkdowns. Why? Because the checkdown was in the backfield trying to block. Running backs were not going out. There was nobody for him to dump a pass off to. On multiple third downs that they had, triggered by penalties, meaning they get 2nd and 4, 2nd and 6, hold. Something happened for it to be 3rd and long. Every single 3rd and long, Stefanski called 4 verticals. I don't know if you caught on to that, but everything that was 3rd and 16, 3rd and 12, something 3rd and long was 3 vertical routes and then maybe an out somewhere. So obviously he has to hold on to the ball to let the play develop. The one that ended up developing where he hit Fannin across the middle was perfect. Want to know why? Because it was 2nd down. It allowed him to sit in the pocket, let the actual pocket of the lineman build around him, set his feet, and deliver a strike across the middle. The problems is I can't view it as I don't unsee it as Stefanski not trying to set this guy up for success because of the specific play calls and situations. When you have Dylan Gabriel have a rollout and you hit somebody in the flats, they did a rollout for Shedeur and he hit his I can't remember the wide receiver's name. It's like a 4th string wide receiver. It wasn't Judy because Judy caught his and brought it for a little bit. Tillman, I think it was Tillman.
Cedric Tillman.
Yeah, Tillman caught a 8-yard out, and it's like that's what you need to do. You need to find plays that are like easy check downs for somebody that has never taken the first snap with the ones. Like they came out today saying that offensive linemen have never heard his cadence. Like obviously it's going to be extremely difficult to get thrown into that situation. I'm not saying that he was great. I gave him an F, but there's no way as an organization that you can bring in a player and have no what if moment. You literally prepared absolutely nothing for him to be like literally. Luckily, he didn't get injured with how quick that defensive line and blitzing. Harbaugh's no dummy. He blitzed every time he could out of 2-4 mug, 2 D tackles, and 4 linemen and linebackers, and just send the house on Shador because he doesn't have any reps. So like that's a way of taking advantage of this situation. I just don't think that this team set him up. He's got a full week now, so there won't be an excuse next week. But this situation, I think it's extremely difficult for anybody, for like yourself, to say he's not an NFL starter, like off of what we just saw.
I think there are like things you can't take away though, right? Like the pocket presence is terrible.
How?
Dog, I watched him roll, and then roll right into back into a defensive lineman.
That play was a blitz up the middle where he had to literally shake somebody that blitzed up the middle. Yes, he did scramble out, but go look. I'm gonna say go look because people aren't watching on. This isn't a debate show, right? This isn't a yelling debate. That's not what we do. I don't got the energy for that. But if you check the play that you're speaking of, they had the tight end. I think it's Njoku. He was the only route that was not covered, but it's in front of him as there's a lineman running at him. That's the only route. The receivers on the left blanketed. The receivers on the right blanketed. The only person that he could have thrown to was the Njoku across the middle, but that's where the blitz came from. So unless he's jumping and throwing, he's not going to be able to make that pass. Like that's the only route that would have been there.
I guess for me, like there's definitely a huge difference between the college and pro game. Like there's definitely a style of how you need to play the quarterback position. And I don't think in his time in Colorado, he played the position like a NFL quarterback. He played like a college quarterback, which is fine. Like you're in college. But I haven't seen any growth in his game.
Define that.
What's that?
Define he played like a college quarterback compared to other college quarterbacks. Because he's not lining up in like I formation?
No, like a college quarterback can use their athleticism, keep plays alive, like go for highlight plays. NFL quarterbacks, like you can see like a Josh Allen stuff do that sort of thing. But it's more of a very boring, cerebral like way to approach the game. I don't think Shador has a pocket presence. The footwork's not great. Some of the accuracy was shaky at best.
Shaky? What? Brother, second and 4, he threw a dot to that 10th string wide receiver that dropped it in the end zone.
Yeah, but there was a couple other passes where he like threw a wicked short and didn't give anyone a chance to get the ball. I'm just saying.
That's insane for you to say he had accuracy issues.
I feel like your take on this is like very conspiratorial. Like they don't want him to play. They want him to succeed. They don't want him to succeed. Like they're trying to sabotage his career. I think it's possible that like they don't see him as an NFL quarterback prospect, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna give the guy we think might have some sort of chance in Dylan Gabriel all the reps because like, yeah, he's a rookie. We're gonna give him all the first team reps. We'll see, but like I will be happy to come back on next week and be like, yeah, dude, I was wrong. Like Shador crushed it, but a lot of what we've seen, like from Colorado days to
you can't say that though.
What?
You can't say that a lot of what you're seeing from the Colorado days because a lot of what you're seeing from the Colorado days had him being a top 5 pick. It wasn't until the draft happened where he dropped to round 5.
You keep getting stuck in this top 5 thing. He was a top
5. I'm going off of what people said, what scouts are saying talent-wise.
He was projected a top 5 like before the season in Colorado even started. I mean, look at Arch Manning. Look at Arch Manning right now.
When he got to the draft, he was expected to be. He was invited. He was invited to the green room, and he chose to not.
Because they knew, dog. They knew he was not. He knew he was going to not be a first-round pick.
That's insane. That's insane that every single media outlet, every talking head, and everybody at the draft, Mel Kiper.
Because Mel Kiper's a fucking moron. No offense to Mel Kiper. Well, full offense to Mel Kiper.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
Thought Jimmy Clausen was going to be like a generational quarterback.
Todd McShay. We're talking Kirk Herbstreit. We're talking about people that watch the game, right?
You see Mel Kiper's hair? You can't take that man seriously.
I get that part. Look, I don't like Mel Kiper. He swings and misses a lot. What I'm saying is There's no way that 1,199 people were like, this kid is a top 5 pick. And then he just miraculously drops round 5.
This is the problem, D.
Mm.
I think this is just a general problem in culture with media and media literacy. And I'm not saying this to you, I'm just saying in general. There are people who are opinion people.
Yep.
And there are people who are more like journalists. And if you listen to like the podcasts and like the articles of people who are like in the weeds of like what is going on at the draft, they're like, this guy's probably gonna go in the 3rd round, 4th round. But your Stephen A. Smiths of the world, your Kendrick Perkins of the world, the people who make a living just yelling at a mic, hype this man up so much that it's partially their fault for all of this that's happened to him, because they put him in the situation that he should have never been in. He was not going to be a 1st-round quarterback. It was never going to happen this year. And now everyone's up in arms like there's some sort of conspiratorial thing against this man.
I need you to literally share with me anything that you've seen that said that he was not going to be a first round pick. Like a credible source.
Yeah. Do you like Mina Kimes?
Yes.
Do you like Dominique Foxworth?
No.
You don't like Dominique?
No. Wait, no, that's the Fox guy. Yes, he doesn't give a Fox. Yeah, he's cool. He's actually cool. I'm not mistaken.
Those type of NFL people, Bill Barnwell, those type of NFL people who are like the nerd NFL people are like, like he does not have the.
But what you're saying is right. He doesn't have it, sure. But nobody said that he was going to be a 6th round pick. Nobody.
He slipped at some point.
That's okay. So you can't say that he's not a NFL starter. To bring it back, you can't say he's not an NFL starting quarterback. Well, we saw Brock Purdy out of Iowa State become Mr. Irrelevant. No, it's not possible. Like Brock Purdy out of Iowa State.
Odds?
I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just saying that like you can't say off of a half of football on a 2-8 team with not a single offensive ones rep, with no game plan. I'm talking like, go look at it. They threw him in and ran Madden plays. Oh, it's 3rd and long, run 4 verts. We're not going to have anybody in the flats for you. Just run 4 verts. No check down. We're going to have your running back just sit back and try to block and then get his shit pushed in because he can't block. And Harbaugh goes, oh, word? Y'all just going to run 4 verts? Hey, send the house. 2-4 mug. Every single 3rd down. It's not even a blitz. They brought 6. They just brought 6 and say, we have more linemen than you have blocking. Every single time. And you expecting him to go out there and beat Tom Brady for you to be convinced that he's a starting quarterback?
I'm not saying that, D.
But you said that he's not. What you saw in the 30 minutes of football confirmed that he's not a starting NFL quarterback.
I'm saying
that's what you said.
We'll give him a week. We'll see what it looks like next week. It's hard in that situation. But what I'm saying is, what if I told you that Shedeur Sanders is probably just a 4th-round quarterback?
That's okay.
How many of those type of guys, 4th, 5th round quarterbacks, actually go on to be a starting quarterback in the NFL?
Dak Prescott. There's more 3 through 5.
Hold on.
There's more 3 through. What you just said? How many?
How many have failed? How many have failed?
Okay, there's more starting NFL quarterbacks that are between rounds 3 and 5 than quarterbacks drafted between 1 and 2 that are successful. That's an actual stat. We can look at Jalen Hurts being another one. Prime example. Super Bowl champion, 3rd round pick. So like it happens. So that's what you can't tell. You can't convince me that in the 30 minutes of Shedeur playing with absolutely nothing out there with it going for him, protection, play calling, scheme, the Ravens defense, who's always been a great second half of the year defense. I'm not even talking about the players. I'm not talking about the players. It's a 17-string wide receiver dropping a touchdown pass that would have given them the win. Oh, it got knocked out of my hands. You're an NFL wide receiver. That was a dot. 35 yards down the field as the receiver's looking at the ball and the corner's got his back to him, and he can't come up with that. Give me a break.
We'll revisit this with more data. But
I know we don't have enough. We got 30 minutes.
Very confident in that. Like, this dude is not going to end up by being like a franchise quarterback anywhere.
I
Hopefully,
can't
be a
wait.
backup for his sake
I
somewhere.
cannot wait. It's gonna be this show next week when we kick off with I got greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkey, all that, and then we get to go straight to Shador. I can't wait.
Can't wait, man. Can't wait for it to just be like, so D, another stinker, huh?
Yeah.
All right. The creme de la creme game last night. I hate how
Mhm.
that box is so big. It's covering you.
Jesus. Just get, can you just get rid of what? No, leave it up there. Leave it up there. It's
Yeah,
fine.
we'll leave it up there. Eagles, Lions. Who did we learn more about, D? What did you take away from that game?
I think we learned more about the Lions, and unfortunately, I'm a golf guy, right? I was pulling the golf's MVP bandwagon last year. Outdoor games are hurting him, and when they play on the road, they are a shell of what their offense is supposed to be compared to when they're home and they're lighting it up. Dan Campbell, bless what he's trying to do. They got rid of, I don't know if they fired the offensive coordinator or they just let him go. I don't understand what happened with that. But he's now doing the play calls. The dude looked like an offensive guru last week. They put up 50 points. I don't think it's exactly 50, but they put up a crap ton of points last week. They play the Eagles, who are good on defense. They're getting back to what they used to play. They put up 10. You just can't be that so hit or miss, hot or cold, week in and week out, when every single season Jared Goff gets bit in the ass when it comes to playing on the road. And now you're not the division leader. It's Chicago, which is insane to think. What's going to happen if they don't win the division and get the 1 seed? They're not looking pretty hard to get that right now with how Seattle, even though they lost, but the Rams and the Eagles. So that means you're going to go on the road. I think you got more out of crap. Like, is this Lions team legit from where they were when they beat the brakes off the Chiefs to start the season? I said they were back, and then they go on and put out a stinker, put up 10 points against the Eagles.
I think we're on the same page, but I'm actually taking the Eagles as far as who I learned more about. And you mentioned the Eagles defense trending the right way. I think we learned that the Eagles can do the Eagles thing again.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is, I think, was it last year? They're not as explosive as last year with the running game. But the last year, we just kept looking at the Eagles and saying, man, I just need to see a little more out of you. Like this offense, we need to see a little more outside of Saquon. We need to see a little more, even the year before that, right? But the Eagles' bread is buttered with that defense. And I don't think they really care. Well, outside of A.J. Brown.
One person. Yeah. There's just one person that cares.
I don't think they care outside of A.J. Brown unless they get the W. And they're perfectly content playing ugly, gross football, not making mistakes, and just having a dominant defense. Very Patrick Mahomes-esque when that offense was in the shitter and they made it to the Super Bowl. I'm feeling, even though the offenses look very shaky, and as a Jalen Hurts fantasy owner, not loving it, I feel like I feel very confident in the Eagles right now because they're totally cool playing in the mud and fighting you with rocks, and they're good at that style of football because that defense has trended up to being one of the best 3 units in the league. I would put maybe Denver up there, on maybe Denver on par or better than the Eagles, but there are not
That's a little
many.
banged up, but yes.
Yeah, I mean, look what they did even without Patrick
True.
Surtain, which we'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, I'm very pleasantly surprised at what the Eagles are doing, even though it's not pretty.
The only worry, the reason why I wouldn't have said what did I learn more, the Eagles did exactly what I know they could do.
Fair
So
enough.
I didn't learn
I
much
guess-
about like Philly with their win.
I guess what I'm saying is, like, not with them, but like with the Eagles, I've learned that they can be this gross team and they are perfectly fine with it. Because I have been saying for weeks, I am concerned about the Eagles. I am concerned. Me personally, I have learned not to be concerned with the Eagles because that defense is so damn good.
Yeah, the only concern that I would say that I have is their offensive line just keeps getting demolished.
That's true. That's
Lane
true.
Johnson went down, and like I think he got banged up last week with an ankle, and then this week or last night a knee, and it's like that's not good. What?
Can I just hit you with a side note?
Yeah.
I think it's
I
hilarious.
like a dog. I get very distracted. So like when you do like, hey, got a minute, like I stop and think of like,
I'm
you
so
shaking a
sorry.
water bottle. I'm like, what the
I'm
hell?
so sorry.
You're good.
I find it hilarious that they always say, like, on the NFL broadcast, he's out with a knee or out with an ankle. It's like, yeah, no shit, the man has an ankle. Like, what the fuck is wrong with him? He's out with
with an injury. Yeah.
a shoulder. Oh, I have a shoulder. Am I out? Like, what the fuck?
I'm actually surprised that they even say that much. The NHL doesn't. I know we're way sidetracked with this. NHL just says upper or lower body because they don't want to get sued for saying the wrong injury.
Oh, interesting.
Like that's a real thing. So yeah, if I don't know why I know this information, but like if you go check a not scouting report, but like the injury report, or if somebody
Yeah.
gets hurt on ice, they'll
Body.
say upper body injury. Yeah, they'll never
Interesting.
say stomach or arm, even if it's clear that the dude's finger got cut off with the skate. They'll say yeah, upper body injury.
That's so funny because like the NBA is the complete opposite, and they'll be like, "Yes, he's out with a
Sickness.
left shoulder subflexor to the second degree MCL
Yeah,
ligament." We're like, "Oh shit, that sounds serious."
sounds terrible. Out day to day. Yeah, so
Yeah.
load management.
I
Um,
distract you. I'll take the water
Oh, you're
bottle.
good.
Like,
You're good. You're
keep going.
good. But that's my only concern, and I said this at the beginning of the season, is just how much that offensive line has rotated, and that's changed the way that Saquon Barkley is running because of the offensive line not being the exact same as they had last year. They had mentioned last night, and I was like, that's actually crazy that they had run a toss and the right tackle that replaced Fred Johnson. I know we're getting in the weeds with this one, but Fred Johnson replaced Lane Johnson because they didn't trust him. No relation. But because they didn't trust him to just zone block on like a toss or anything like that, they had to pull the left tackle and the tight end to help with tosses. And it's like you're now making, because you can't trust that right tackle, you're making your backside defense weaker, backside offense
Yeah.
weaker. Which if you have fast DNs,
They'll chase you down.
yeah, like that Saquon 7 yards back, you still got to run 10 yards to get to the line of scrimmage because you're at an angle. Obviously, it's not straight. So you got to run 10 yards just to get to the line of scrimmage. And it's like that affects the run game. That is very in-depth, detail type stuff that a lot of people don't really pay attention to. They'll just look at it as, oh, Saquon's only got 4 yards of carry. It's like, no, there's some real stuff that goes into this that like causes a lot of problems. And what's Saquon one of the best at? Shaking the crap out of you, right? If he can't do that because he jukes one person that's in front of him, but he's got backside help on the defense, it's going to get rid of those explosive plays that we're used to seeing him cut, see the hole, cut one direction, and he's gone.
Defense. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who's the best of that I can think of?
Lev Bell.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, Le'Veon Bell.
The two running backs that I wish got their flowers, now we're really going off, but the two running backs that I wish got their flowers more and deserved is Lev Bell and Todd Gurley. The patience that Todd Gurley had in the that brother was he still has like the top 10 most rushing touchdowns. He hasn't played a single snap in like 10 years. Like the last 10 years, he has the top 10 rushing touchdowns in the last 10 years, and he hasn't played in 10 years. Like that's how nasty he was.
Injury sucks because his prime was probably like a 4-year window and he got taken short for injury. So we talked about the Eagles and how I felt good about them because of their defense. Let's talk about another unit, another team that I think might be the best in the league. Do we believe in the Denver Broncos? And they got a big win over the Chiefs. I think was it 19-16 final?
Yep.
Low scoring game, but that defense
really. 22-19. 22-19. It was a 3-point game.
I know it was a 3-point game. The defense really stepped up without their best player, Patrick Surtain. Probably the best cornerback you could argue in the league. Maybe the best. I don't know who else.
Player of the year last year. So yeah.
Yeah. They did a great job defensively. Are you back? Because I know last week we were like, I don't know, man. There's Bo Nix and all this stuff, but 8-2.
Yeah,
8-2. They did it against a good team that may be good. I don't know. I was actually kind of surprised. I was surprised that was it in Denver?
It was in Denver. Yes.
The Chiefs were like a 3.5-point favorite to start the game, and I was like, that's kind of weird. Yeah. But are you back to believing in the Denver Broncos at all?
I'm still not quite convinced because you did beat the Chiefs, right? I get that. I 100% believe that. There's just something about this team that I'm like, they're driven by the defense.
Yep.
But what happens if you don't hold a defense down? I mean, the opposing offense down. Can Bo Nix carry you in a game? I don't know if I've seen that yet. He's going out there and he's playing great. I'll give you that. I'm not knocking on his stats, 2,400 yards, 18 touchdowns, 8 picks. Playing the position. But we talked about Jalen Hurts a couple of years ago. Can he be the guy to win you a game if your team's losing, right? I'm not convinced that Bo Nix is there yet. And I think they got a hell of a team. I think he has to play Mistake-free football. Just don't go out there and lose the game. And people are like, "Oh, he threw for 400 and 4 touchdowns against the Cowboys." That's Cowboys. Everybody can do that against the Cowboys. I'm looking at the game right now, and Geno Smith is cooking. So like everybody can do that against the Cowboys. But it's those tough grinding games. That's what I'm like. Can you really trust Bo Nix? And I don't know if I can yet. Not saying that I won't. Just at this very moment, you asked me, I'm saying I just don't, not yet, not convinced yet.
I think I'm there with the Broncos. And I say this because two things are true. Number one, there's no dominant team in the league right now. Outside maybe the Rams.
There's no dominant team in the AFC. I would say that.
There's no dominant team in the AFC. So there's no one that's really going to blow their doors off in the AFC. They have a good offensive line on paper. They did draft a running back in RJ Harvey, right? He wasn't particularly productive against the Chiefs, but the Chiefs' front's pretty good against the run. So they have some of the pieces there. Like they should be able to move the ball on the ground. Defense is outstanding. We've seen teams do this in the past and win Super Bowls with a defense first run the ball strategy. The most recent example, Denver Broncos with Peyton Manning, I would say.
It was last year.
I mean, I wouldn't say last year because Jalen Hurts was still a stud. They still had two excellent wide receivers, a good tight end.
Okay, I get where you're going with this.
I'm just saying, like a team that's just like we're defense first. We're not going to be flashy passing game. We don't have the capacity. Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl like that. They're not quite the same team. Maybe the Baltimore Ravens. Was it Trent Dilfer was their quarterback? Who was their quarterback when they won?
Like 20 years ago? Yeah. Trent Dilfer.
Yeah,
so they most recently won with Flacco, but that's not the one you're talking about. They won all over the yard.
Yeah, there's probably another team I'm omitting from this discussion, but like teams have made deep playoff runs and won the Super Bowl with a quarterback. You're like, I don't know about that guy.
Yeah,
they have a lot of the pieces in place. Like if they can play their style of ball and not get down, that's the thing. Like if they can keep games in the mud and just play close games, hold a slight lead, I feel very good about this Broncos team. It's going to be really hard because like every other team in the league in the AFC has weaknesses. The second best team in the AFC is the Patriots. I wouldn't trust the Patriots against the Broncos.
Not right now, but we got to see it to believe it. I'm also very surprised that you went straight to Trent Dilfer like 40 years ago instead of like, I don't know, Eli Manning in the Giants. Like that's prime example of this. You never trusted Eli. You trusted OCU Manure and Michael Strahan, but you did not trust. You didn't trust Eli. Not worth a damn.
I mean, even the Bears had a couple of years with like Rex Grossman where didn't they go to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman?
Yeah, they lost to the Colts, but yes.
Yeah. But like there has been examples of like quarterbacks we don't trust at all, and they've made big runs with a dominant defense. And like I get it, we don't trust Bo Nix, but are we completely out on the guy as a quarterback?
No.
He's young. I mean, he's not young, but he's young and out of college.
He's a guy. That's what you need. Is you need a guy, and the Broncos got a guy. They're not looking for another quarterback.
For me, it's like if not us, then who? With the Broncos.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I'm not mad at it. It's just you asked me a question. I'm not there yet.
That's fine.
But I think what's their. Let me go take a look at it real quick. This is actually pretty dope. What I have. I'm using Sidecar for my iPad, so it's like a desktop on my iPad. It's actually pretty cool. Upcoming schedule. They got Washington with no Jaden Daniels quarterback. Then they got Vegas and Green Bay. If they
could rattle those three off.
They should beat Washington. They better beat Vegas in Vegas. It's that Green Bay game. You get me to 11-2, I'll be like, all right. But you can't drop Vegas and you can't drop Washington right now. So those two games would be like, no. Like I don't care if he throws for 500 and no picks. Like that would matter.
If only that Broncos team had a guy like Shedeur Sanders, it would be. I'm just joking.
Don't do that because I'm not. I said he played terrible. You give me hyped up. Yeah, man, I'm not trying to get me pissed off.
Yeah, let's go to the opposite side of the ledger because we talked about the Broncos. Obviously, a nice win over the Chiefs. Who again? I was surprised they were favored because then they lose a bad game last week as well. So I don't know where we are with the Chiefs. But speaking of the Chiefs, interesting question. These are three teams that. I think we probably could have thrown the Bills in there too.
The Bills won.
Yeah.
Bills are 7-3.
Yeah, we'll give them some. Best chance for a second half bounce back. So these are three teams that are either started really shitty or kind of treading water now. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs. I'll let you take the first stab at this.
Because of their schedule and an injury in their division, along with an injury to another quarterback's toe, and then Cleveland still has no idea what the hell is going on there. I think the Ravens, although we called them dead in the water and said that they should pack it in, I think it was like week 4 we did that. I think they have the best chance to rip off a great second half run. They consistently turn their defensive intensity up in the second half of the season. I don't know if it's because they always play like division teams, like they play the Steelers twice, so like that always pisses them off. But the end of their season, it wraps up with the Jets, the Bengals, the Steelers, the Bengals, and the Steelers. Like they got the Patriots and Green Bay mixed in there. Those are throwaway games. They could go 1-1. They could split. They could go 0-2. Doesn't really affect their playoff, positioning. It's going to be if they win the division, and they're outside of the Patriots and the Packers, they play the Jets. So like they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got 5 very, very winnable games that just builds the momentum and gets them to 10 wins.
Yeah, 4 in a row. I think I'm with you, and I'm not saying like this is my approach on the Ravens, and I think I'm with you with the Ravens, the bounce back. They're within 1 game of the division. You win the division, you're in the playoffs. You're hosting at least 1 game. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
They have the highest ceiling, in my opinion, of the 3 teams we mentioned: Buccaneers, Ravens, and Chiefs. I would say the ceiling probably Ravens, then Chiefs, then Buccaneers. As far as like if you make it into the playoffs, how much damage could you do? Now, speaking of the other teams, just talk on them. I think the Buccaneers will be fine getting into the playoffs. I don't think the Panthers will catch them. I would be surprised. That'd be crazy.
You better hope not.
The Bucs have had their own litany of problems with injuries. Bucky Irving not being there, Chris Godwin not being there, Mike Evans not being there. But they should make the playoffs. I don't trust them as much, to make a deep run anymore as I did earlier in the season. The Chiefs, they have a completely different problem than the Bucs and the Ravens. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs because they are in a very tough division. We already talked about the Broncos. Chargers are very good as well. I don't know where they stand as far as wild card standings. You might have that information in front of you.
I'll pull it up for you.
Yes, could they make a run of the playoffs just because they have number 15 on the team? Absolutely. But even with the addition of Rashee Rice back, this offense still does not seem right. And when Rashee Rice did come back and people thought everything was fixed, everything was built around Rashee Rice. Like, he was the only one doing damage. Xavier Worthy is MIA. I don't even know who's running the ball for them anymore because it's just a complete disaster. Isaiah Pacheco's been a disaster. Kareem Hunt's been a disaster. They've probably mixed in somebody else at this point.
Yeah.
So, even if the Chiefs make the playoffs, how high of a ceiling do they actually have at this point?
I have more confidence in the Chiefs in the playoffs than I have confidence of the Chiefs making the playoffs.
That's fair.
Because if you get to the playoffs on the road or at home, which they would be all road games, you got to take down 15. And there's still a mystique. I don't care if everybody's like, oh, the Chiefs lost their prowess that they had for being, 10 straight years or 7 straight years of winning the division. I don't care. There's dudes and then there's guys. Pat is a dude. He is one of one when it comes to the playoffs. He's gone into Buffalo and beat Buffalo. He's the only person he hasn't gone on the road and beat is Joe Burrow. He's not coming out anytime soon, right? He's been into Baltimore and he's beat Lamar Jackson. He's been in the Patriots. He's been in New England. He's beat New England. It's happened. So I have a hard time saying that they're going to make the playoffs. It's hard to say that. But I have more confidence in the Chiefs making a Super Bowl run if they make the playoffs than I do the next 7 games they have leading up to the playoffs. They could miss. And if they miss, 4 out of the last 5 Super Bowls have been with them. Still a really good run that they're on. Just an off year. Shit happens. They're getting old. They bounce back. But if they make the playoffs, I'd be like, they have – everybody better watch out. You can't write them off, but it's more or less you better knock them out now while they're teetering.
So they're in ninth right now. So they're 2 slots back. I mean, they're tied for the eighth seed. But they'd have to jump over Houston or Jacksonville, which I would assume those 2 teams might cannibalize each other and one of them would drop off. They also have to look out for the Steelers in a way because Baltimore, as we said, is surging. So the Steelers would essentially be fighting for that wild card spot. I'm just curious, rest of the way with the Chiefs, because we agree. Like, I'm not disagreeing with you. Like, I think having 15 on your team, Patrick Mahomes, would scare the bejesus out of any opposing fan base. Like, you don't want to see that. The question is, can they make the playoffs? This week's going to be a great game versus the Colts. That's exciting.
Yeah. That's their season.
They do have some winnable games. It's like 50-50, easy, hard. So if they can take care of the business against the easy teams in the schedule, which include the Raiders, Titans, I'm going to put the Cowboys in there maybe, but I don't know.
Struggling against the Raiders right now, so yeah.
Yeah, and then just win one or, maybe win one of the tough games, 1 or 2. They're there, and yeah. But I think we both agree Ravens highest ceiling, best chance to have a second half bounce back. Buccaneers should make the playoffs, but like we both are suspect about what that'll look like.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs, if they make the playoffs, I just don't want to play them.
Nice to see
right.
one in the spot.
Let's do some quick NBA quick hits and talk some hoop. All right, I got a sticky note.
Oh boy.
It's a sticky note of thoughts.
Oh boy.
Oh, my sticky note happens to be green.
Can't see it because of green screen, but yeah.
I have a green screen. That's why this sticky note is transparent. So a couple of things that I thought was interesting so far in the season. Number one, we talked a couple weeks ago about the Hawks thing and how intriguing the Hawks are because they own the first round pick of the Pelicans, who, by the way, are dog shit. I don't even follow
them. So bad. They are so bad.
They have 2 wins on the season, so the Hawks might have a top 5 pick. The Hawks started off pretty shaky, like 500 after 10 games. They're on a 5-game winning streak. I don't know if you've seen this. Hawks on our 5-game winning streak. They're up to the 4 seed. They've done this all without one Trae Young.
Mm-hmm.
This team has actually been pretty fucking awesome.
It's cooking.
Yeah, Jalen Johnson's awesome.
Yeah.
But the thing about the Hawks right now is that historically, the thing with Trae is that he is an offense in a box. Like, you get Trae Young, you have an automatic offense, which is cool. But small guards like Trae and Jalen Brunson, obviously, Donovan Mitchell, yeah, they have defensive inefficiencies. And for the most part, like, teams have found ways to accommodate around them. Like, think about Donovan Mitchell. You get a Mobley, you get a Allen in the paint to kind of help you out as far as if guys get by you. We have your back. Well, without Trae Young, they're playing huge. We're seeing Nickeil Alexander-Walker start in his spot. So you have him, Dyson Daniels, and Jalen Johnson as your 1, 2, and 3 with the smallest height of 6'8". On this 5-game winning streak, they've had a top 5 defense. Like, I think this is interesting what's going on, and I think this is a really good microcosm with the Hawks of like, this is experimental time. Trae's out. Like, let's see what this would look like if we actually do move on from Trae this offseason because he's due for an extension. He's not on contract after this year. So, like, this is a very interesting time for the Hawks, and they're finding great success.
Yeah, I mean, if I watched more Hawks games, it'd be easier. I see box scores, and the guy that we talked about last year is like, damn, is this guy even worthy of being a number 2 overall pick? Actually, number 1 overall pick, Zachariah Richardson. Yeah, but he's still getting decent amount of usage right now. He's not playing bad. He's just playing he's not playing like a number 1 overall pick.
The thing with Zachary, I'm sorry, just to give you like some detail. Like, people will see Zachary Richardson and he'll put up like 12, 13 points, 14 points. Like, oh yeah, like he's getting some stuff going on. Thing with Zachary Richardson is like it's empty calories. Like, look at his other statistical categories. He doesn't rebound, doesn't get assists, doesn't provide defensive boosts. So like he's kind of like, I'll get you a couple buckets type of guy. But sorry to interrupt.
Gotcha. No, you're good. I mean, if that's the case, then it's really just banking in on Jalen Johnson. I have seen him.
He's excellent.
A bunch of highlights and whatnot that I've seen him doing pretty good work. Maybe they see that the future is with him. And if that's the case, you use Trey as a trading piece to try to launch this team to become a top 4 seed to close out. The East is wide open. There's no dominant team in the East right now. There's no dominant team in the East.
Detroit.
The Cavs. I think Detroit just lost a couple nights ago, though. A game that they should have lost. But like things happen
right now, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Johnson, I don't think it's a hot take to say right now Jalen Johnson's a better player than Trae Young.
Oh no, they ended up coming back. Sorry. I thought they were losing against Chicago. My bad.
Yeah, it was a collapse by Chicago.
Okay.
No, Jalen Johnson's a better player than Trae Young right now. Full stop. And it's weird because like if Trae does stay, like he has to be the number 2. Like he's not going to be the number 1. It's not his team anymore.
I don't know if he takes a back seat to that.
And I don't know if you can with his style of play. Like his play style is very predicated on I'm going to orchestrate an offense, give me some pick and roll, I'll take some shots, some threes, some floaters. So that's the first thing that was interesting.
Okay.
The second thing is the Cavs.
Yeah.
I think the Cavs are in trouble.
Really?
Yeah. So the Cavs obviously had the 1 seed last year.
Mm-hmm.
They made some interesting moves in the offseason, right? They bring in Lonzo Ball. They get rid of Ty Jerome. Lonzo Ball's a very good player in whatever minutes he can provide. He's not playing back-to-backs. He's pretty limited minutes, but like his play style is better as far as like playoff basketball because he's a better defender, better passer.
Mm-hmm.
Ty Jerome. The thing with the Cavs, though, is that Darius Garland missed the first 2 weeks coming back from a toe injury that he had to get surgery around. He just had his toe re-injured like 2 games ago, and he missed the game after. Now, they're saying it's toe maintenance, but if you watch the game, he clearly re-injured the toe and like just stopped moving on the court. So Garland's out. Mobley has put up good numbers, but if you look at his shooting numbers, like his efficiencies, super down this year. So like he's just living on volume.
Mm-hmm.
They're winning a lot of close games because Donovan Mitchell is playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
He's playing a ton of minutes and he's putting up a ton of points. The goal of this team was to like cut down the minutes of a guy like Donovan Mitchell, who's super old. I mean, for NBA comparison, I think he's in his mid to early mid 30s at this point. Like you can look up his age. I think he's like 33.
I thought he was young 30s.
Let me know.
Okay, keep going. No, keep going.
But my concern is like without Darius Garland, you're putting a ton on Mitchell's plate.
He's 29.
He's 29. That's it.
Yeah.
My bad. I thought he was older than that.
It's like 34, man. That's like Steph. No, not Steph, but Clay Thompson time.
Yeah. Who's washed, by the way. But I'm worried that the Cavs are just treading water now with just Donovan Mitchell going berserk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they can keep treading water. They need someone else because, like, again, they lost a reliable scorer of Ty Jerome. They don't have Max Strus right now. They're down a lot of guys. They're playing a lot of randoms I've never heard in my life. I'm concerned that the Cavs will slide to like a 4 or 5 seed and not accomplish that goal of being like the number 1 seed in a year where like we talk about the East being wide open.
It's funny you say that as they're beating the Bucks right now. At home.
Bucks have been bad lately too.
Yeah, Donovan's got 25. Yeah, I mean, but this team has a very similar core than what they had last year, and that like if that's all, sometimes that's all you really need to have that playoff push towards the end of the season, post All-Star break, when those guys they're like, all right, cool, we know what we need to do to try to get a home seed, 1 through 4. DeAndre Hunter hasn't been bad. I don't think that he's like he's not a great 4 to have, like your 4th option, but he's serviceable. Not to say Ty Jerome isn't better because I think he's played better, but DeAndre Hunter they got him to play against the wings of the East. So to help out against Giannis Antetokounmpo, to help out against Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, like that's why they brought him in for it. You talk about Atlanta, a 3-and-D length guy. They got him for that. That's more of his role. So if they wanted to have less stress and whatnot on Donovan, it's not going to happen. Like Donovan Mitchell has to be that guy, even with Darius Garland there or not. Donovan Mitchell has to be that guy that's running this team in order for them to tick. And Mobley's got to step up if that's the case. If you're saying that he's a little bit, I'm seeing 7 points off of 4 shots right now. Like, he's definitely not the same type of Evan Mobley, defensive player of the year, and a great second option that we've seen, consistently over the last 3 seasons. But this team is hinging off of the success of Donovan Mitchell.
Do you have any concern with the Knicks, by the way?
Well, I do, because I think I had read something that said people talked about Tibbs running their starters into the ground. And then they pulled up a stat this year that said that there's absolutely no difference with the way that the Knicks are playing this year as they played last year, with Tibbs being the head coach. And it's like, that's a problem then, because we saw them break down and be absolutely exhausted when it came to the playoffs in the second round. And that is just, we've seen this before, right? That's not a formula for success if you're running your starters out there between 40 and 46 minutes a game again.
Yeah, they don't have OG Anunoby right now. Jalen Brunson's out with an ankle injury. This isn't a super deep team. They've never been. Like, they added a couple guys in the offseason, right? I think they had Landry Shamet last year.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? They had another shooter this offseason.
Jordan Clarkson wasn't there.
Clarkson's what I'm thinking of, yeah. But it's like, they're not a super deep team. So they have two starters out. Like, how many blows can this team absorb, right? I don't know what Brunson's timeline is. He's left in a walking boot the other night, and OG's going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks with a hamstring injury. So, like, again, like, I feel like some of these teams, like the Cavs and the Knicks, who had lofty ceilings, or lofty expectations, they're not really capturing the momentum of a Boston going down, an Indiana Pacers going down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see where this team goes. Can they tread water in the next couple of weeks without these guys? But we'll see. Dallas is really, really weird, by the way. Can we just talk about Dallas for a minute?
What they had going on in Dallas is kind of insane over the last week or so.
Do you want to kind of...
You can lead off, and then if you miss out on a point, I'll give mine.
Yeah, so, like, obviously they fired Nico Harrison, which is... it had to be done. I don't think he made great moves as, like, outside of the Luka trade. The Luka trade is an all-time head scratcher, but let's just put that aside. Outside of the Luka trade, he did some pretty boneheaded roster construction moves this offseason, basically, and we talked about it. Starting an 18-year-old at point guard, you bring D'Angelo Russell as your other guard. They're starting like a G League guy, Brandon Williams right now, but the roster moves were boneheaded. The fans were up in arms in Dallas. Like, they still, like, months and months later, still fire Nico Chance in the building. He gets fired. And now it looks like they want to just, like, tear it all down. Like, Anthony Davis is in a multitude of trade rumors. And by the way, guys, if you're a Dallas Mavericks fan,
you don't own picks.
Don't expect a Luka and draft picks back, because you're not going to get 30% back, maybe 30% back of what you gave up to get Anthony Davis. You're not getting a haul for Anthony Davis out the door. And it seems like they're trending that direction, because 2 games ago, Anthony Davis was questionable to play. Like, oh, he's coming back from that calf injury. Now he's 7 to 10 days. He was questionable. And then after that, he was doubtful. Now he's out for another 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like a classic, like, hey, let's put this guy on ice and shop him around and just tear this thing down, which I get it. It somewhat makes sense. If you're really wanting to, like, do a fresh rebuild around Cooper Flag. And by the way, the Dallas Mavericks don't own a lot of their picks in the future. After this year, they had their first round pick this year. So if you're going to be bad, Dallas, this is the year.
Yeah.
But after that, I don't think they have their first round pick until like 2031. Like, I don't. It's wild for them to go from the final. Like, this team was literally in the finals 2 years ago to now this. It's like the craziest shit that happened to Dallas.
The fall from grace. No, you hit. I think you hit every point that I was basically going to go over. That bigger one was just the roster construction. There's no direction by any means, and I was banking on this team being successful in the hopes of playing subpar. Well, no, but playing subpar. I didn't put no money on Dallas. Why would I do that? but playing subpar because Kyrie's coming back. But if this team is in shambles, why the hell would you rush back somebody coming off of an Achilles injury? You know what I'm saying? Like it's not good. Like he maybe takes off, 2025 through 2026 and returns in 2027 as a 32-year-old point guard. Like it's just
How old's Kyrie?
Kyrie's a little older.
Yeah,
Let me get the exact. I feel like he's 31 now, probably turning 32 by the time he comes back and plays.
He's 33 right now.
There we go. Yeah, like 34 coming back then.
With multiple devastating injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's going to be a huge question mark too next year. Like he's on contract for, I think, this year, next year, and I think the year after. I think he extended 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. It's an absolute mess. Two last couple things. We should be quick on these. Denver's won 7 in a row. I said, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, my hyperbolic NBA reactions that the Thunder will win the championship. I still think that's the case. But if anyone's going to beat the Thunder, Denver's their kryptonite because they've had troubles against Denver. Denver pushed them to 7 last year in the playoffs. This seems like a rejuvenated team. Granted, the addition of Cam Johnson hasn't been great so far. The returns aren't great, but Jokic has just been phenomenal all year. This past stretch he had this past week has been unbelievable. I think there's a statistic that Jokic had I want to say it's 73% true shooting percentage over the past week, which is unbelievable.
True shooting is
so what it counts, you don't know what that is, or are you just for the audience?
People that listen.
Yeah, so like a regular shooting percentage is like how many shots you take, how much do you make. True shooting accounts for 3-point shots being more valuable. Okay. So it standardizes the per shot percentage by the points you gain per shot. So like if you make a 3-point shot, it's more valuable than making a 2-point shot, but also a 3-point shot is less likely to go in.
Yeah.
So it standardizes kind of like almost like a percentage per point that you're doing.
And you said his was 75 plus.
73%.
73%.
It's for just kind of like for reference, I think the average is probably around like 42%.
Absolutely insane. If that's the case. I was just thinking, I was like, I wonder what the average is, which is insane.
Yeah. So he's been phenomenal.
I mean, I think it's him and Luka that are in the clubhouse when it comes to MVP candidates again. And
I would say the odds right now probably are Jokic 1, 2 SGA, 3 Giannis, 4 Luka. That'd be my guess if you went to FanDuel or something or.
I think the closer that you get towards the All-Star game, you're going to see more votes to Luka. And this isn't even just Laker bias. I think what he's doing right now is incredible offensively. And I don't think that he's as much of a parking cone on the defensive side this season.
All right, awards. Here's the odds in order. All right, so I was slightly off, but slightly right. Jokic, SGA, and Luka are 1, 2, 3. They're all closely bunched. So 140 for Jokic plus 225 Shea, 340 for Luka.
Okay.
So they're close-ish, and then Giannis at plus 900, and then it drops off significantly after that.
Yeah. The only reason why I wouldn't say Giannis is because the Bucks are struggling.
His odds were way higher. Way lower before, but yeah, they struggle.
They look really good some nights, and they look really bad others.
By the way, this is just one of my last thoughts when we close out.
Mm-hmm.
Joel Embiid, he is out right now with knee soreness, and it's not the same knee that he had the surgery on to his other knee. So he's missed 2 games now with the knee soreness. It is non-bad knee. Is Joel Embiid like
done?
Think about no. Think about Lamar Odom. Is Joel Embiid what Lamar Odom could have been if Lamar Odom was given 6 years of health?
No, I don't think Greg Oden.
Oh, I'm sorry, Greg Oden. Did I say Lamar?
You said Lamar. I know who you meant.
Yeah, Greg Oden. Thank you.
I don't think Greg Oden had ever established a playmaking skill. Joel Embiid in his prime
Yeah, he
was
was a passer.
was diamond out of the post. I don't think Greg. I think Greg Oden was your typical traditional back to the basket, try to shack for a bucket. I don't. And a rim protector, great rebounder. I'll give him that. I know I used to crap on him all the time. I actually came across an old. You know how Facebook sends you reminders? It was great. I had an old Facebook tweet within the last couple of days that said, uh, obviously it was like 15 plus years ago, who's the bigger bust, Jamarcus Russell or Greg Oden? So I thought it was during football season, so obviously Greg Oden must have done something for me to be like, oh yeah, it's definitely Greg Oden.
That's unfair to trash on Greg Oden because like it's not his fault.
I mean,
His
injuries
body-
happen.
Yeah,
Injuries happen. That's part of the game, unfortunately.
I'm not going to call someone a bust because their body gave out. It's not their fault.
Be in better shape. You're not gonna call. So we're not gonna call Zion Williamson a bust.
That's a different story.
Oh, okay, yeah. Brother's saying in New Orleans a bit too much with that gumbo.
Because my guy likes beignets and gumbo. It's not, that's his fault. But yeah, it sucks. I like how it sucks that you referring to Embiid as like when he was in his prime, when he was good.
Oh, he's cooked. I think he's cooked.
It's a bummer too because like it was fun to have that heel in the NBA. It just makes me sad that he's already done pretty much. The last thing is we don't have to talk about talking, but the Raptors are feisty. Just throwing that out there.
They are. They're annoying, but
they're annoying to bet on.
Well, I won't even go in that route. It's just one of those, like you said, they're a hodgepodge of players. Well, I think we said this off air, where it's like it's RJ Barrett. I didn't talk about Emmanuel quickly, but you brought him up. But then you got Scotty Barnes, who was he's an all-star, and I think people wanted him to be an all-NBA player a couple of years ago because he was the rookie of the year. And you got Brandon Ingram. So it's like they're all outside of Quickly because Quickly's more of a guard. Barnes, Ingram, and RJ Barrett, they're the same player. They literally are the Spider-Man meme. Like that's them. They bring to the table the same thing. So it's just weird that
Not to mention they drafted a guy with a similar frame and Colin Murray Boyles, I think his name is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not developed as them. He's like a more of a defensive guy, but like same kind of archetype of like a 6'7",
6'8". Yes.
Yeah.
That they literally. So I mean, if it works, it works. But like I said, they're just annoying to play.
On the bright side, if one of those guys are out, like you could just throw another one right on it.
That literally has happened. Brandon Ingram goes down, and Barnes and RJ Barrett do the same thing. RJ Barrett misses a game. Barnes and Ingram go out, and same thing if Barnes is out. Ingram and Barrett do the same.
They've been fun though. All right, those are my NBA quick hits. Want to close out and head out for the night?
Let's do it.
The show is coming to an end. But first, it's time to get to anything we've missed. It's closing time. 1 segment, 2 takes. Now go.
All right, closing takes. It's time for me and D to get off one last take of the day. It can be sports, pop culture, whatever we want. It can be about something from the topics of the day. It could be completely unrelated. D, I'm kicking us off first because I don't want you to take mine. I want to tell you, D, about women's college basketball. I want to tell you about the greatest upset I've ever heard in my life. It was his take. I stole it. Yes. What if I told you, I feel like I'm a 30 for 30. D, what if I told you a Division III school in Scranton, Pennsylvania beat an ACC Division I school in Pitt? That happened.
Oh, I know.
The University of Scranton. I don't even know what they are. Shout out to those women. I got to find out what their logo is. They took down a Division I ACC school. Not just like Division I play in the Mountain West or I play in like the MAC. They took down an ACC school. 69-63. That is batshit. Because it's hilarious because you and me played Division III football. Could you imagine going up and playing, I don't know, Boston College from UMass Dartmouth and whooping their ass?
It would be absolutely hilarious.
I wanted to figure out how this happened. I was like, oh, was it like a weird 3-point shooting night, whatever? No, they did it on the back of forcing 18 turnovers by Pitt. Shout out to the women at D3 Scranton. I got to find out what your logo is, or not logo, but what would you call it? Like your name?
Team
Yeah.
name.
But yeah, that was that what your closing take would be?
The Scranton Lady Royals. That's what they're called.
Lady Royals. Hell yeah, Lady Royals. I love it.
Yes. When I said there's no chance that you were taking
I should have
mine.
picked that bet.
Yeah, that's a good one. So mine's not going to be anywhere near as good then. I'll go to college football because I thought this was one of the best things that ever that happened this weekend. Did you watch the Georgia-Tennessee game?
No.
Georgia-Texas? So I don't care about Texas football. I don't need the ISO on this one. I don't care about Texas football. Kirby Smart pulled a Sean Payton, and nobody expected it. So it was a back and forth game, 10-14. Georgia just scored. They went up. They're at home, and it's 21-10. They're like, oh, we got a chance to put this game away. We just need one stop. Kirby Smart says, nah, forget that. Call an onside kick. Beginning of the fourth quarter. They get it and obviously put the game away because they get the recovery. But just like the cojones of like, it's the fourth quarter. It's not even at halftime. It's the fourth quarter. You just scored. Stafford Stadium is going bananas because it's 21-10. And Kirby goes, let's onside kick it. They get it. Obviously put the game away. Texas is now out of the college football playoff. Georgia is going to be up there when it comes to Alabama taking control of the SEC. It's just one of those like, damn, that's something that you do in a video game. You don't really see it often in sports. So big shouts to Kirby Smart for having the big cojones to pull off an onside kick when literally nobody and their mother, not a chance anybody was expecting. Texas took off. Like they ran all the way down the field. They're like, oh crap, it's an onside kick. Perfectly timed, perfectly executed.
Love
Good
it.
stuff.
Shout out Oklahoma, by the way, beating out in Alabama.
Not even an upset. They beat them last year. Like that game wasn't like entertaining for me because I was like, everybody keep talking up Ty Simpson, and Ty Simpson threw like 2 picks.
I keep forgetting what's the Alabama's the head coach for Alabama's name?
Caleb DeBoer.
Caleb DeBoer. Brother's seat's getting hot. Just saying, if that man finds a way to lose to Auburn in the Iron Bowl,
I don't think that happens.
He would not even get back to his car before they fire his ass.
No.
Also, if he finds a way to lose to Oklahoma a third straight time, he's done.
Well, tough.
Alabama football. It is
ain't nothing but the tide.
Good show today, D. I can't wait to come back next week and yell about Shore Sanders more. It's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah. All right, let's get up out of here. As we were saying when we leaving up out of here, appreciate you guys and gals. Anybody that was here. Buff, appreciate you being in the chat. Q, appreciate you being in the chat back-to-back weeks. Anytime you guys are trying to find us live, find us on all of our platforms. We're streaming live on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitch. For recaps, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever it is that you find your podcast. And then the new and improved site for us, frizzandthegrizz.com. Please don't forget about the best platform out there, though, the TikTok. One of these days, we'll go TikTok live. All of the stuff is on the top left for us, top right for you guys. When it comes to the QR code, you can scan that and go to all of our sites that we have on there. TikTok is the best one because we could throw all this random content and people argue about what we say. Best one, best argument, podcast equipment needs to be more expensive. I absolutely love that one. Every time you guys are going to get into your, I would say, holiday season, make sure to be a friend, say something nice. You never know what it could do for someone. Please make sure to take care of y'all mentals. Make sure to take care of y'all physicals. Take care of y'all chicken. Take care of y'all children. And we'll catch y'all on the rebound. Peace.
I am a better player, but in times like this, it's an opportunity to continue to glorify the Lord, even through the toughest circumstances. I know I'm better than this. I know I'm just praying for the Lord to deliver me from pick sixes. Like that's not me.